When you think of permanent makeup, you think it's just for women, but it's also for men. Men need permanent makeup too. And I like to say cosmetic tattoo just because.
Welcome to the 517 Capital City Podcast, hosted by Natasha D Photography, Robyn Berg with Union Home Mortgage, and Kat Gandolfo with RE/MAX Real Estate Professionals.
Welcome to 517 Capital City Podcast. I almost messed it up that time.
So today we have Sandy B from Avante Artistry.
We're so glad that you were able to be our first guest. I know it's a little nerve-wracking to be the first one, but we knew that you would be the perfect first person. I'm lucky enough that I have known you for a little over a year now. And had the chance to, as I get to know you, to dig into who you are and what you do. Let's talk about, well, I know you've just recently moved your location. And you're in Grand Ledge now, right?
Correct.
Are you enjoying that transition to the new location?
I am. I was nervous at first because I was in my solo studio, so I was nervous transitioning, and moving my studio from Lansing to Grand Ledge, and I wasn't sure how that was going to affect my clientele, but it actually boosted my clientele base, and so it was actually a great move and a positive thing for my business.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that when I was deep diving on your social media this morning again, I loved that I was going through your page and I was like, I don't see any posts about what she does. She is sitting here promoting everybody else and kicking it out to everybody about all the wonderful things they do. So do a little.
I know. I'm like the biggest cheerleader for everybody else, but I won't so I will shamelessly plug myself into the local Facebook groups, and I'll also shamelessly plug everybody else. But then on my personal page, I'll just post and share my work, but I don't promote myself because I'm just
humble. You're humble about it, and that's why you're here today, because we want to promote you.
Yeah.
So tell everybody what it is that you do.
So I'm a cosmetic tattoo artist. Here's my thing. I want to do so many things, but I need to slow down. One thing at a time. So right now I specialize in microblading powder brows, eyeliner enhancement, lip blush tattoo, and I just started doing fine line tattoos. So they're also known as tiny tattoos or micro tattoos. Basically, they're really small, simple, dainty tattoos. Okay. It's different from your regular traditional tattoos. I use a smaller needle to create the tattoos, so the lines are skinnier, finer, more dainty.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I learned something already.
Love it.
Is that part of the, were you working on that when I saw that you were traveling recently?
Yes, I went to Utah, and there was a trainer out there that was training with the fine line tattoo work, and so a friend and I, we flew out to Utah and we trained with her, and that's how it started.
What's the most popular makeup one that people get?
Powder brows. And recently I've been getting a lot of machine nano hair strokes, and it's similar to microblading. Everybody knows about microblading because it first came out, and it's the little hair strokes that mimics natural hair strokes. So with machine hair strokes, it's very similar, but I use a different tool to create the hair strokes. Instead of using a blade to create the hair strokes, I use a machine and needle. And so the needle just kind of pixelates the little hair strokes instead of cutting into the skin. So it's actually
less invasive.
Yes.
That's interesting. You never know who has tattooed makeup now. I'm going to look at everybody differently.
Right? I'm just thinking, I don't have to get ready I thoroughly enjoy doing my makeup because it is like art, which makes sense that you're doing art. You're just making the art permanently on people's faces so they don't have to continue to put it on every day. There are certain days where I'm like, man, it'd be nice if this part of it I didn't have to do again.
Wake up and go.
Simplifies your morning routine.
I actually had machine brows done.
Oh yeah.
And I find myself every once in a while, like today, I darkened them a little bit because my makeup was heavier. But the importance of sunscreen on your eyebrows after you get it done.
Very important.
Really?
Do you have any clients that have like the leg that twitch when you do the machine brows?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I've never. That's crazy. I've never had that.
Oh my gosh, I'm laying there and I'm just like, oh my leg! And she's like, it'll
Don't move.
be okay. I'm just like, I don't want to move, but this is so intense.
Oh my gosh.
But I've had a handful of clients now. When I did microblading too and machine hair strokes, after every stroke I had created, they would sneeze.
Oh
It's
my
crazy, like how the nerves
goodness.
are connected up there, and it would tickle their nose or
my
make their
gosh.
eyes water, or make their nose run. But I've had a handful of clients who would
Interesting.
sneeze
After every stroke. Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
And they would apologize, like, don't apologize, this is completely normal.
It's gotta be a genetic thing.
Like, you can't control what your body's gonna do. But Cindy, I've never had anybody with a, you know,
Oh my gosh, it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm laying on this bed and I can't keep my legs.
That's crazy though, because you're laying on the bed for, you know, a few hours. People do get restless legs too. So I encourage everyone, like, just let me know. Get up and stretch.
Yes.
Makes sense. Move around, do
Yeah.
something that would help.
Yeah.
Better than like starting to twitch while I'm trying.
Yeah. So, what got you into permanent makeup?
Yeah, so I have been a licensed esthetician for, let's see, 2013, so 10 years this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And when I had gone into esthetician school, I mainly went for makeup. I wanted to do professional makeup. And then I quickly realized, they do more skincare stuff. So, I got my license and everything. And after esthetician school, I went straight and worked for MAC Cosmetics as a pro artist for them because I wanted to do makeup. I love makeup. I've always done makeup.
It explains why your makeup always looks amazing.
Thank you. And then after that, got married, had kids, so I became a stay-at-home mom. Never, ever had I ever thought I would be a stay-at-home mom. I always said that I'm gonna, continue working. They're gonna go to daycare, but it all changes after you have kids.
Yes.
And so for 5.5 years, being a stay-at-home mom, I kept trying to think of what I could do after the kids would go to school, because being home with them, I realized, okay, I don't want to go back to my 9 to 5 and be, stuck at work. I want to have a flexible schedule. So while being at home with the kids, I did dabble into a lot of like MLM networking, or network marketing. And through that, ironically, I discovered permanent makeup. And I knew what microblading was. And at the time, I was like, I could never cut into someone's face. I would never do that. I would never tattoo. That's not me. But being a stay-at-home mom and then getting into the MLM businesses, I heard somebody talk about their powder brows. I was like, powder brows? I've never heard of powder brows. I've only heard of microblading. So I started researching. I went down the rabbit hole and I was like looking at everything, and I'm like, it's very similar to microblading. It's also permanent makeup, but you're using a tattoo machine and needle. So I ended up, looking for classes to take in Michigan, and I found a microblading class. I ended up taking that first, even though I said I would never microblade. I'm like, okay, it goes hand in hand. I might as well just take it. So I took it, and then 2 weeks later, I immediately took a powder brow class. And so I'm like, I could offer both of these together, because some people want the natural look, microblading, and then some people like the more filled in makeup look with powder brows. So then I started just practicing at home while being with the kids. And then I was ready to open up studio, start working, and then pandemic.
Oh, of course.
Oh my gosh, I'm like, I worked so hard and I studied and I practiced so hard and all to just sit at home again.
Have more time to practice.
Yeah, more time to practice. And so once restrictions lifted, I had planned to, get out there and start working, but my husband and I, we didn't feel comfortable getting out there, so soon. And so I waited till 2021, August of 2021, to actually open my studio and get going. And so I had my studio in the north side of Lansing, right outside of Old Town. Worked there for a year. Decided I needed a change, and also my lease was expiring. So I'm like, okay. At the studio, it was just me and then 2 other barbers in the building I was in. And on the other side, there was a little salon suite, but it was I wasn't part of it. And I just felt, sometimes it was really quiet in the studio, and I just felt very lonely there. And I love to talk, and I need people, social interaction. And with the barbers, they were, doing their own thing, and they had male clients, and I loved the barbers that I worked alongside there. They were great. But I felt like I need more female social interaction, not just my clients. And so once exactly. And so once my lease expired, I started looking around, and I found 3rd floor salon and wellness studio in Grand Ledge. It's formerly Glow Salon. So we're located on the 3rd floor of Cancun, or the 3rd floor above Cancun Mexican Grill in Grand Ledge.
I can picture it right now. That's very easy to find.
Yes. And so been there since August of last year. And my business has actually grown a lot since I moved location, and I've also added brow waxing. I used to do that, and then I just added it back. Brow waxing, brow lamination, brow tint, lash lift, lash tint, and I also do lash extensions now. So yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Everything. All of
Everything.
Make you feel really pretty.
All things beauty.
Forget all of the things we can do.
Yeah, right?
Sounds fun.
Yeah, but primarily, I do a lot more cosmetic tattoo work. And eventually I do want to start doing scalp micropigmentation and areola restoration. So I have all these big goals.
I love it.
Baby steps, right? Yeah.
So that kind of leads into what do you find to be the most rewarding part of what you're currently doing?
The most rewarding part is just seeing everyone's reaction and how grateful they are to have, fuller brows done, or just, because a lot of people who I see, they have the very sparse brows, the 90s brows, where it's super thin. So I do, that's what I look forward to, is just, excuse me, how grateful they are afterwards. And I've even recorded one client. She was so happy, she cried, happy tears. And so that's what I look forward to. That's my goal.
It instills confidence in people.
Yeah, restores their
makes them feel good about
confidence.
themselves.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the parts of makeup that gets missed, or any of that it's not to hide, it's to help
Yes.
bring you out,
Makes
help
you
you feel confident.
more confident.
Yeah.
And you want to show it off.
Yes.
When you look good.
Exactly.
If you watch us on YouTube, then you could probably tell all of us thoroughly. How much more can we put out before we turn the camera on podcast days?
When you think of permanent makeup, you think it's just for women. But it's also for men. Men need permanent makeup too. And I like to say cosmetic tattoo, just because, because men can get their brows done too, especially if someone has alopecia, they can have their brows done. And it doesn't look like a tattoo, it can look natural.
That's what I think a lot of people are afraid of, is the tattoo look.
Yes, it doesn't look tattooed on. It can look very soft and natural. So it's for everybody, you know, not just women. And scalp micropigmentation, that could be for men who are, you know, balding or their hair is thinning, and they can get that illusion of having, you know, a fuller set of hair, or someone who's completely bald. The scalp micropigmentation can make it look like they just had a nice fresh shave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's interesting.
I never would have known that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I got into this too is like, oh, I can make my own schedule and schedule around my kids' schedule. I thought it was easy, but of course, you know, when you're working for yourself, you're wearing so many different hats, and like I'm doing my own social marketing, I'm doing my own scheduling, work, and then I have to, you know, juggle mom life with the kids, and so I'm learning to balance it all. I'm grateful for my husband. He helps me a lot with the kids too, so that I can, you know, just go to work without thinking about, you know, the kids. So yeah, I'm still trying to balance everything, but it's worked out with the kids' schedule, school schedule, and then soon soccer schedule and everything. So I like the flexibility.
You described that very well about the fact that I think that's the biggest difference between somebody who has a 9-to-5 and an entrepreneur is you don't have a job. You have a thing that you want to do, and then all the other things you have to do so that you can be able to do the thing that you want to do.
It's not only 8 hours, it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's multitasking.
In the shower,
Yes.
on the toilet, everything.
The Zillow calls come in, always like before I'm like, really right now?
Can I mute it? Can I mute it? No.
So with Zillow, when we have a call, it rings to multiple people on our team, but like somebody has to answer it, and it can get slightly competitive sometimes. So we had one of our team members texted us one day that she accidentally knocked over her kid when she flung over, and she jumped over the ottoman to catch the phone so she could get the Zillow call.
Oh my goodness.
So if you ever call Zillow and somebody sounds out of breath,
They've been working for that.
they had to get to that phone.
At all costs.
That is true. There is a lot of social media aspect to it, and you do a great job of your social media.
I try. Sometimes, like, I'll be, you know, I'll fall off and like crickets, don't hear, don't see anything, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on a roll again, back at it.
Well, if people want to just follow you on social media, what platforms are you on?
Yeah, so I'm mainly on Instagram and Facebook. My Instagram is at Avante Artistry, AVANTE Artistry, and then I have my Avante Artistry Facebook group or Facebook page where I will post regularly on there as well.
Well, we'll make sure to tag and post and share so that people can find you and get their permanent makeup done and be
or even a consultation. I love to talk, so
yeah, we have that.
We want to take a moment to thank our audience and sponsors for their support. Without you, our podcast wouldn't be possible. We also want to remind everyone that when you support local, you help your community grow. Your support makes a real difference, and we're grateful for it.